Pase chingus, it's your girl Kathleen, aka Kasudin, aka Sorin, and you are tuned in to another episode of Sorin's Soapbox. Yes! Here on Sorin's Soapbox is where we rant about all things love, life, and the pursuit of music. Get into it, get into it. What's going on, family? What's going on? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. But we are back with another episode of Soren's Soapbox. If you are new to Soren's Soapbox, welcome, welcome, welcome. We love new members here. We love new people around here. If you are new here, kick off your shoes, relax your feet, grab some coffee, grab some water, grab some wine. We love to just kick it around here. If you are a returning listener, sac passe, que joie, como famia? How's your mama and them? How's the family? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we are back with another episode, and what is going to be the last episode of 2023? Y'all, can you believe the year is finally coming to a close? Child, I can't even believe it myself, but here we are, here we are. So, all right, we are definitely going to jump into today's episode and get into all the nitty gritty details of what's been going on with me because I know I've been gone for a minute. We're definitely going to jump into all the details and do our end of the year wrap up episode. But you already know before we do, please, please, please follow your girl on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. The handle is Shameless Listo on all platforms. That's ShamelessListo. Come chat with your girl. How was your Christmas? Because by the time this episode drops, we'd have just got out of Christmas. How was your Christmas? How was your holidays? All the things. So come hit me up. Let me know how your holidays. Let me know how you're doing. So I just want to get all of the pleasantries out the way. And let's go ahead and jump in today's episode. I'm not going to make this episode too long because if I'm being honest, I hope I don't sound it, but I'm actually coming off of a cold. Your girl had the flu and I'm still not feeling 100% better. If I'm keeping it 100, I still have a bit of a cough. And so I'm going to try to do my best to get through this without hacking up a lung. But yeah, I'm still coming down from a cold, so I'm gonna do my best to get through this. But I'm gonna try to keep this episode short and brief. Not my usual hour-long rant. We're gonna try to keep this short and brief. So this is our end of the year wrap-up episode, and to be honest, it has been a lot. Like, first of all, the fact that we're already at the end of December, and as I record this, literally, we have a week before we step into the new year. That to me is already crazy in and of itself. Like, I feel like not too long ago, it was just January 2023. We were ringing in the new year, and now we're about to ring in the new year of January 2024, and that's just crazy in and of itself. But time is ticking away. I feel like time is just not real. I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like time is just not real at this point. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. December has been kicking my butt because I do want to kind of catch y'all up because I was not able to make an episode last month. These past 2 months, specifically December has been kicking my butt, if I can be transparent and honest with y'all. I recently had an accident where I fell in front of my apartment in the stairwell. For whatever reason, there's been no lights in front of my apartment, so it's just been pitch black, almost like horror movie scene like. And I had been saying it for months, like, they need to change the lights in front of this apartment because, like, somebody could trip and fall. Well, that somebody was me. That somebody was moi. And I tripped and fell going up the steps into my apartment while I was carrying some groceries in. And to kind of brace myself from the fall, I put my hand out in front of me because in front of my apartment, the stairwell is like a marble. And child, the only thing I could think of was I can't bust my chin on these steps. Because if I hit my chin on the steps, it's a wrap for me. I just imagine like busting my chin wide open or like smashing my teeth or just the absolute worst. Like I just didn't want my face to come in contact with the steps. So I put my hand out, and so my basically took the full impact, and that has been an interesting recovery because in all my life I've never broken a bone, I've never had crutches, I've never had stitches, I've never had a cast on, like none of these things. So at my big age to finally like fall and like I've sprained certain things, but like more or less like had a pain and been able to just like walk it off or like rest a couple days and then that's it. This is the first time where like I had a splint and I had to wear it for like 5 weeks. And that was difficult because I'm in the process of moving and trying to pack up my apartment to move back to the States. And my even now, like my whole entire apartment is full of boxes. And so I had to put my moving on hold in the process of like trying to pack up. And even putting that on hold, I really wasn't in a place to put it on hold because I'm leaving here regardless. Like the time is ticking, the clock is ticking regardless. And so this was very much an inconvenience. And then on top of me having to do with my hand, I then come down with what I thought was a sinus infection because I have really bad sinuses. And the weather here has been really crazy. Some days are warm, some days the weather is dropping down to like 17, 20 degrees. And I'm not even talking about Celsius, I'm talking about Fahrenheit. It's dropping down to like 15, 17, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it's like extremely warm on other days. And then we're getting snow. Like the weather's just been all over the place. And so I just thought, like, okay, my sinuses are taking the hit, only for me to like realize, like, I'm coughing really bad. My whole body is like sore. I'm feeling like the chills, like I'm hot and I'm cold, like the whole nine. Go to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, you are showing symptoms of the flu. And I'm just like, great. So not only am I operating with one hand, I have the flu. It's just been a mess. Like I don't have no other words to describe the fact that it's been a mess. And my holiday season has not been holidaying. Like this December has been crappy, to put it politely. I have not been in a Christmas spirit. And I'm not even necessarily in a Scrooge or a Grinch mood. Like I'm just like the holidays just not feeling like I'm not feeling festive. And Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. I'm the person I'm not that girl where like right November comes and I'm already putting stuff up. I'm not that person because I love Thanksgiving. I'm a foodie. I want to eat. But I will say that right after Thanksgiving, I am putting up my stuff. I'm getting the poinsettias or poinsettias, however you say it. I'm putting up my decorations. I'm putting up the tree. I'm doing the whole nine. It don't feel like Christmas unless I pop in Nat King Cole's Have Yourself a Merry Christmas. That's my favorite. The Nat King Cole Christmas album, that's my favorite Christmas album. I will play that through the house, and that puts me in the Christmas spirit. I love Christmas, but this year I just wasn't feeling it. And I think it's just the fact that, like, between my hand and my body, I was just like, bruh, I want to sleep all through December. So, yeah, that's just where I've been. And the ball is still rolling. I literally have about a month before I move and leave Korea to go back to the States. And I wish I could say by the time I go back to the States that I have a break, but I don't. Um, and so I have a lot of things just happening all at the same time, if I'm being honest. And I'm starting to feel my anxiety creep up. And I'm very much trying to pray and just lay it at, the feet of Jesus. Like, okay, God, you've got this. You've prepared me for such a time as this. But I would be disingenuous if I wasn't transparent about the fact that I'm very much feeling anxious. But I'm also excited about the fact that I am on the verge of a lot of transitions that are coming up. So it's kind of like I'm looking back at 2023, and there's so many good things that did happen this year for me. I was able to start the year off and go home finally after being here for 3 years. Go home and see my family and see my friends and celebrate my sister's 30th birthday. So that was like a major hump in the year to start off my year. And then I came back, and I already knew that this was going to be my last year, but I still made it like my best year in terms of like being a teacher. I feel like honestly, in the 4 years that I've been a teacher, this was probably the easiest I've had. Aside from like, I have one particular like group of students, they've been like my prayer class because every time I go in there, I gotta pray. But outside of them, this has probably been like my easiest year of teaching. My students have been great. The classes have gone well. Just everything has gone really well. But I just kind of knew like this was the year that I was wrapping everything up. And all the signs were pointing to the fact that this was time to leave. A couple of my friends that had lived here, they decided to go back to their destinations, whether to go back home to America or wherever their home country was. So most of the people that I considered friends started to leave here. Another friend of mine who is from Korea. She is Korean. She got married this year. And in Korean culture, it's kind of common for them to move and leave their hometown and go to their husband's hometown. And her husband's hometown happens to be like on the other side of Korea. And so that meant seeing her less and less. And so all of these things let me know, like, okay, girl, like it's time to get up out of here. I'm like, okay. So it was just all these things to just let me know that God was telling me, like, you have had an amazing season here, but that season is coming to an end. And as scary as that is, I'm also just very excited and in an anticipation mood to look forward to 2024 and going back to the States, being around friends, being around family. And even though, like I've said, America's ghetto and all the things, I think two things can obviously be true, right? American can be ghetto, and also it has all the things that I've been missing here. I have been on my own for these past 4 years. And while I don't regret my time here, there's a lot of things that are irreplaceable. I miss my sister. I miss my friends. A lot of my friends are having babies. A lot of like I just found out one of my cousins, she's about to have her second kid, and I want to be there for that. Like I have friends that are getting married, friends that are having babies, and the idea of missing these things really are heartbreaking. And I don't think that I can keep missing these important things, these important pivotal moments in my friends' lives. Like I don't, and I think that's obviously the sacrifice that you understand you make when you live abroad. But I think that where I'm at in my season, I don't want to keep missing those things. So yeah, like I'm ready to come home. I don't think that I want to retire necessarily in the States. I do very much still see myself living abroad, but I think I am willing to do it once like I have my family and I'm ready to settle down, and whether it be I retire or like I meet my husband and we're like, okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to have a family overseas? Do we want to have our family live in the States for a little bit and then move overseas? I'm not sure what that conversation looks like. I do know very much in my heart of heart, I want to live abroad. I just don't know what that looks like as far as timing is concerned. But I know living abroad, that's something that I was able to experience. I enjoy. I still very much want to do it. I just know Korea was not what I thought it would be. I thought Korea was where I wanted to have my roots and live here for the rest of my life. And I'm realizing like, okay, living here 4 years, what I imagined it to be is not how things turned out. And that's fine. I've come to recognize that my plans are not God's plans, my ways are not God's ways. But it was an experience nonetheless. And I'm never going to take that for granted. I'm never going to complain about that experience. I am going to complain about the things that I don't like, but overall, this was an amazing experience that I will never forget. But yeah, anyway, so that for that to be said, so next year, honestly, truly is going to be a year of transition because obviously, number one, I'm moving from Korea back to the States, but then I plan to move again. And I don't want to say where I'm moving just yet until I've kind of settled because it's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts that once I'm a little bit more grounded, I will speak on in the future. But I'm transitioning in terms of where I plan to live. I'm transitioning when it comes to a job, which the job market has been a struggle in trying to find a new job, trying to find something else that I want to work in. That's been stressful in and of itself, is trying to get back into the job market, trying to get back on my feet and figure out like what I want to do next in my job, what I want to do next in my career. So it's a transition with that. It's just so many transitions in my life overall that it makes my head spin. It makes my head spin. But again, I'm going to say this over and over again. I'm just putting my trust in God that all the transitions are pieces of a puzzle that are just coming together. And I think now is just the best time for all these transitions to happen. And so I'm just kind of riding the wave and trusting that everything is going to work out as it should. All the pieces are going to fall in the places that they should. So, yeah, I wish I could say what I'm expecting for 2024, but I'm walking in with an open mind. I just know there's a lot of transitions ahead of me. I am thankful that I am going to be with friends and family, at least to walk with me through the transition. That's going to be something that I didn't have prior to, with being here in Korea and dealing with a lot of things on my own. So that'll at least be nice in that I don't have to feel like I have to carry so much load by myself. Because let me tell y'all, right now, trying to move and pack and doing that by myself, all I want to do is take this apartment and throw the whole apartment away. I just want to throw everything away. And I could do that. I could do that in some ways, but in other ways I can't. But yeah, I am just spent. I'm spent. So yeah, that is literally, I wish I had more to tell y'all, but I don't. I really wish I had more to give y'all, but I'm just keeping a lot of it to the chest until things unveil itself and I feel like I can give y'all more information. Like I said, for right now, 2024, I'm excited. I look forward to it. I'm a little anxious because I have no idea how certain things are going to unveil itself, but I believe that that's the area where I'm not supposed to know. And it's just like, okay, God, this is on you. It's not on me. But yeah, but I feel like this is going to be a good year. And this may be silly, but I think it's probably because this is the first year I finally have champagne. Like, in all the 4 years that I've lived here, I have not gone into the new year with champagne because I had not been able to find champagne in where I live at all. I have been sipping Moscato into the new year. And for some people, maybe that's trivial, like it's not a big deal. But for me, I love sipping champagne to go into the new year. And I have not been able to do that. So I have been sipping on Moscato. And I'm like, I want champagne. And I think maybe either April, May, I was with one of the teachers. We went out for karaoke and we went out to eat. And then afterwards, she needs to stop into the grocery store. Now, this island has what I've now learned is 2 grocery stores. There's one grocery store I've been going in it all the time, and that's where I buy the Moscato because every time I go in there around New Year's, they never have champagne. We went into a second one, which I never knew was an actual grocery store. Went in there and I'm flabbergasted. I was like, "Is this a whole grocery store?" And she was like, "Yeah, you've never been in here?" And I was like, "Nah, I've never been in here." So I'm exploring it, walking up and down the aisles because that's what I do. And next thing I see, I'm like, "Is that a bottle of champagne?" And the teacher I'm with, she's like, "I think so." She's like, let me ask the clerk." And she asked them, she's like, "Is this champagne?" They're like, "Yeah, champagne." And I was like, yo, the way I snatched that bottle of champagne so quickly, to this day, it's in my refrigerator. To this day. And I have was tempted to open it for my birthday, and I was like, nah. Because I never honestly went back. Actually, no. I've been back to the store maybe one other time, and I never checked to see if maybe they had another bottle. I just know the first time I found it, I bought it, and it's been in my refrigerator ever since. And I said to myself, I'm not opening it till New Year's. And I've kept that promise. It's in my refrigerator. And I'm like, this has to be a special year because it makes no sense that I had never been able to find champagne. Never. Let me tell you something. I live above a 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven doesn't have champagne. The grocery store I mainly go to doesn't have champagne. That is the only store that had champagne. So the odds of me and I never went in there because I never had a reason to. I never had a reason to go into that store. And the only reason why I went into it a second time is because Korea has a very intricate trash system. You can't just throw anything out just regularly. You have to put it in specific trash bags. So they have like a white bag for general trash, you have yellow trash bag for food trash, and then you have a blue bag that's for recyclables. And yeah, I think that's and it varies based off of not only the city that you live in but the district you live in. So me saying that a white bag is general trash and a yellow bag is for food trash and blue, it could be different in the next city next to me. So the next city over, it could be switched. So and if you put the wrong thing in the wrong trash and they know and they can trace it back to you, you can get fined. So Korea is very particular about how you throw stuff away. And if you ever come to Korea and you ever walk around, like say Seoul, there aren't trash cans around like on the street. They say it's to prevent people from littering, but you will still find trash everywhere. But there's no regular trash cans on the street because again, Korea is very particular about how they separate trash. So I'm obviously getting rid of stuff because I'm moving. I needed to get rid of a vacuum cleaner. I needed to get rid of a dehumidifier, and I needed to get rid of an air fryer. I can't just throw these outside my apartment. I had to go into that same particular grocery store and buy a sticker to put on these appliances to put outside because there's a specific way that these have to be thrown out. So, had I not asked somebody like, oh, how do I throw these out? I would have never again gone into that particular grocery store because the other one, the main one that I go to, they don't have these stickers. The one that had the champagne had it. But again, I wouldn't have known these things without asking. But I digress. Needless to say, the first time I went in there, they had the champagne. I would have never gone in there again except to buy those stickers. But by that point, I'd already had the champagne. But I'm just simply saying that me now having that champagne, I feel like that's a sign. That's a sign to me to let me know that this is going to be a good year because I have not gone into any of my years sipping champagne. It's not to say none of my years between 2020 and this year haven't been good, but I feel like me going into 2024 sipping champagne, that gives me a little bit of razzle dazzle. This might mean something. It might mean something good. Like I heard some people were going under their tables, eating 12 grapes, and it was bringing them good luck. I don't know about all that. I was tempted to do it, but I'm not that superstitious. Not in that way anyway. As a Haitian, I'm superstitious about not going into the new year with a dirty house, even though I can't really prevent that cuz I'm packing and moving. But this year, I definitely will make sure my sheets are washed. I can't go into a new year with a dirty hair. That's just something that's been ingrained in me is I cannot go into the new year with a dirty hair. And I can't go into the new year with my bed sheets dirty. Even though I already wash them regularly, but specifically, you cannot go into the new year with a dirty bed set. Normally, again, you're supposed to clean the house top to bottom. I can't really do that when I'm packing and I have boxes everywhere. But two things is for certain. My scalp and my hair is going to be washed and my bed set is going to be cleaned. But the whole sitting under the table eating 12 grapes in red underwear, I'm not finna do that because I live in a Korean apartment. I don't even have a table tall enough to be under to be eating no 12 grapes. If I couldn't find love eating grapes just on a regular basis, I doubt. But anyways, I feel like maybe me finding champagne is a good thing for me. Anyways, I digress. So, with that being said, I really am looking forward to 2024 and seeing what the transitions and the blessings and all the things. I do need to make a phone call to Jesus though and God to make sure I'm not on one of the strongest soldiers list though, because a girl is tired. I want to make sure I'm on the blessings list and not the, you know, the weapons are going to form list. Like I feel like December was that. I know the Bible says the weapons will form but they won't prosper. I was feeling like some of the weapons were not only forming but a couple of them was like prospering and really getting me. So I need to make sure I get God and Jesus on the main line and make sure that I'm on the blessings and benefits package next year and not on the, you know, the strongest soldier and the trials and tribulation benefits package. I want to opt out of that subscription. So I need to make sure I do that. So also with that being said, this is my last podcast episode. I'm not sure when I'm gonna make my next episode, if I'm being completely transparent and honest with y'all, just because I am packing all my things and I have been shipping them to my new location. And until I get my place in order and everything is situated, I don't know when I'm gonna make a new podcast episode. So I'm pretty much gonna go silent. I'm gonna say the beginning half of 2024. So I just want to go ahead and say that now because I don't want anybody to say that or be checking for the next upcoming episodes. I am pretty much heartbroken about that. I'm not gonna hold you, but it does allow me time, one, to be in a better place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And it also allows me to be able to carve out space because I do want to make videos in conjunction with my audio. So I'm someone personally, I like watching my podcast. So I'm going to imagine that my listeners are the same. That if you do like listening to audio, I want to make those options available to you. But for the people who are visual podcast consumers like myself, I want to be able to present you those options as well. So I want to be able to curate a space where I can record with, even if it's just my phone or my laptop, create a space to be able to record my podcast and be able to put that out into the inters of nets and have that available. So because of the things that I kind of want to curate, it is going to take me some time. I'm not sure how long, so I don't want to give a date and time and then I break that promise because I'm not that person. So between moving back home to America, and then, because literally I'm moving in 2 steps. I'm moving from Korea back to my parents' house, and then from my parents' house, I'm moving again to my own spot. And so that's going to be quite tricky in and of itself. And so instead of trying to record and do episodes within my parents' house and do all of that, I'm just going to wait till I have my own space, which prayerfully should be around the springtime. So I'm hoping that after springtime, I can bring back Sodium Soapbox. I can have all the things that I'm looking for to be able to come back bigger and better. So let's just say for now, it's going to be a good 4 to 6 month hiatus. That pains me just to say, but it's looking like that's what it's going to be. If I can come back sooner, I promise you I will come back sooner, but I'd rather aim for later than predict that I'll be back sooner and then I have to come back with an announcement saying that, oh, I can't come back. In the meantime, between time, if I can come and do like lives on IG, I'm going to see about doing that because obviously I'll have my phone. So that might be some alternative options I'm going to work out to see. But I know it's actually sitting down with my mic and doing podcast episodes. That's going to be a bit difficult for me with all of the transitions and all the moving arounds and things that I'm going to do. So I wanted to just go ahead and let you guys know because we're a family here. I want to be honest with my family. I want to let y'all know what is going down with the soapbox. Okay? So with that being said, I didn't want to make today's podcast episode too long. I'm going to wrap up today's episode. I want to wish everybody I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, and I want to wish you a happy new year. Thank you guys so much for sticking beside me and being with me on this up and down journey with Soda and Soapbox. I promise you, this means the world to me. Truly, truly, truly. I don't have words to say thank you. This in and of itself was a journey for me to sit down and hit play on my very first episode and to keep doing this despite all the hiccups and the hangups and the things that were coming my way to keep me from doing this. But I've been really doing my best to stay faithful and stay consistent. And it's also the reason why I had to reduce myself to 1 episode a month, even though I really enjoyed doing 2 episodes a month. It just was becoming taxing and toiling on me with this transition, with this move. And I hope that I can go back to doing 2 episodes a month again, Lord willing. But we'll definitely be able to see how things go once I am back in the States and I'm a little bit more grounded. But with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for being faithful listeners. We are coming up on 2 years with Soda and Soapbox. I hate that I haven't been able to really celebrate the first year anniversary, as well as I'm not even sure if I'll be able to celebrate, honestly, the 2nd year anniversary. But I'm going to make sure that for sure, once we do a comeback, I will do something to really celebrate it. And to celebrate my faithful listeners and everyone who has been supporting me in this journey. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this episode. Once again, please follow me on all social media platforms. I'm probably going to document the transitions that I'm making through my social media. So make sure to follow me there on Facebook, Twitter, or X, and Instagram. That is Shameless Listo on all platforms. That's ShamelessLissto. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. I'm definitely going to try to be active to document the transition, especially once I'm back in the States. And like I said, I'm definitely going to try to maybe be a little bit more, do some lives on there in replacement of the episodes. Since I'm not going to be actually sitting down, I'm going to see if I can do that as an alternative, depending on the craziness of everything once I'm back home. But I hope you guys have a happy and safe new year. Be around friends and family and loved ones if you can. But if not, just stay safe and know that I'm truly, truly thankful to be able to do this with you guys. And until next time, I love you guys for real. And your girl is off her soapbox. See ya.